Next episode. So since the pilot decided not to set a tone, episode 2 attempts to set every tone. We start off in this action movie raid of Holy Wayne's compound. Plenty of shaky cam and yelling and swearing. Tommy kills a guy, but it's sort of brushed away in service to the cool action scene. I mean, this show is so odd at this point. The departure is this event of great loss that is extremely lionized, but death is this super disposable income. We have a brief interlude of a Kevin dream sequence, which is sort of a symbolist recap of the themes and characters that were already presented. Then we directly jump back into our normal everyday talking scenes. The low-key ennui of life post-departure. Kevin's fence burnt down? Does that mean something? I don't know. I don't care. So now we get to the main plot of the episode. Meg becoming one of the guilty remnant. I honestly almost said others there. And this entire story arc is so monotonous. It seems like they're trying to push a mystery forward of the guilty remnant and what do they mean, but we already know all of this from the pilot. They're a nihilistic organization who use radical tactics to become pariahs in the community. I mean, I understand this. You told me this. So here's Meg, and she's wondering why she has to chop down a tree. And it's because they're a nihilistic organization using radical tactics. Here's one of them getting some paint thrown on her. Why is that happening? It's because they're a nihilistic organization who use radical tactics to become pariahs in the community. We then hang out with the teenagers in a coffee shop for a while. Just hanging out. You see Nora, she's the lady from the first episode, and they decide to tail her? I mean, why? They found out she had a gun in her bag, so they decide to follow her. I don't even understand why they're doing this. Then the Terrible Two show up and they take their Prius to follow her. They also keep talking about the Prius during the scene. Like, whenever the Prius is in any scene, everyone is constantly talking about the Prius. More Meg chopping. God, this is a show, folks. So we cut back to Tommy, and this entire thing feels like they're trying to ape Breaking Bad. It's like trying to be edgy and intense, but all the stakes are so very low, so it just reads as dull and slow. Then Kevin does this wacky bit with the bagels. I mean, it feels like some kind of quirky indie movie scene. I don't know if it's like supposed to be silly or poignant or just things. Like, what are we doing here? Nora interviews a couple about their departed son. Okay. And the kids are outside talking about the Prius some more. Then we cut back to Tommy with Holy Wayne. So Holy Wayne, first of all, I love this actor. I really do. He's done some amazing stage work, and I think he's really great on film, so I honestly think he must have been directed towards his performance. The premise of Holy Wayne is really interesting. He's this miraculous healer who's developed a cult-like following, and we as the audience are vacillating between whether he's legit or not. Which, yes, I love this, yes. But in the scene, he's featured in this tone that's definitely directing us towards the latter. He's displayed as creepy and odd and manipulative, and he's shot as like intense and capable of sudden violence. All of his actions are extremely shady and sketchy, so it seems like they're setting up a dichotomy, but they're telling us how we should feel about him, so it's super disappointing. Meg and Lori tell each other information that we already know. Kevin and the dog man decide to repeat the activities they already did. Kevin tells his dad information we already know. And Meg continues to do an activity we've been watching her do the entire episode. God damn it. Next episode. Okay, so we start with Matt, the town priest, and he's giving a sermon. Okay. And as he talks, we watch him doing the mundane maintenance of the church. Wow, it's not someone he hired. He's like doing it. He must really love this place. That's nice. He's like a good guy. We see him see the guilty remnant and try to show grace towards them. He sweeps, he puts up the marquee with such care. He's talking passionately during his sermon. He's really putting his all into it. And then we cut to, oh my God, no one is there. Oh, wow, that's really effective storytelling. He's so committed and passionate about his work, and he's getting so little in return. Then this dude barges in and oh man, the dude attacks him for spreading his message in the streets. Wow, this feels like a show. You see, the public believes the departed disappeared because they were special and chosen, and Matt is preaching that all these people had plenty of flaws, some severe, that they really weren't special. So we have a priest now evangelizing that not everyone deserves absolution. I mean, that is super interesting. So Matt owes the bank money, lots of it, and the church is in dire straits. So while Matt is cleaning, a man comes to get his child baptized, and it's heavily implied that this post-departure world has kind of walked away from organized religion. Notice how they never say this outright. The man distracted his wife with a pedicure and came to the church in secret to baptize his child, and the actor really conveys how taboo it is for him to be there. We know Matt is desperate for money, but he refuses to take a donation from this guy. It's just such a great representation of how Matt carries himself in the world. Matt encounters the guilty remnant again, and they're just standing outside his church. He hates these people. I mean, he fucking hates them, and he gives them a donation box. It's honestly so interesting. It's this act of grace, but it's laced with this pity for them. It's a way of seeming gracious, but actually passively insulting them. It just makes him a fascinating character. The bank explains there's been an offer on the church. Matt has been unable to make his payments during these hard times. He loves that church, and we know it. He didn't tell us, man, I love my church, or somebody comes in and tells him, yeah, you really love this church, Matt. But instead, we understand his love through the actions we've been seeing him doing the entire episode. So Matt needs his money now, or he loses the church. The stakes are so clear, and the stakes are so high, because I know how much the church means to him. Because I've seen it. We want Matt to succeed at getting what he wants. It's like I'm watching a thing where I feel things. Matt goes to his sister Nora to get the money, and she'll give it to him if he stops shaming the departed through his papers. She demands this from him. And suddenly I'm super interested in Nora. She needs Matt to stop spreading this information so badly she's willing to deliberately fuck over her own brother. She tells him that he's an obsessive and he's always been one, and it might be time to move on. I mean, that's so hard to hear. Nora is probably right, and we can see Matt devastated by this. Matt then tells Nora that her husband cheated on her. It's such a cruel move. She hurt him, so he hurts her right back. And again, he pretends he's doing it out of goodness, which one could argue, but it comes off as so callous. It's amazing because we want to like Matt, but he did such hurtful things to make her hurt like he does. When I talk about not liking Matt, I want to clarify that that's a very good thing. To be conflicted over character is pivotal in audience investment. He's good and he's bad. He's like all of us, which we instantly connect to. So we have many conflicting ideas about Matt, and it's just riveting. It seems like every scene we are adding more and more layers to this character, and because we know what he wants, we think that's commendable and we really, really love him. Then we meet Mary, his wife. I mean, holy shit. God, the way he loves her. And you know this dude does this every night for her. Oh my God, the bed next to hers. The amount of dedication and love and patience he has. Unable to cry, to not disturb his comatose wife. I mean, that is just incredible. Matt asks for help, and he gets it. And he understands what he must do. Matt goes to the casino he visited earlier in the episode. It makes sense why this idea would be in his head, but maybe it was God who told him to go there. The beautiful thing about this is you really have no proof either way. Matt goes to the roulette table, and honest to God, it's just the most intense and amazing scene. We've been building up the suspense of him getting this money the entire episode, so we are just on the edge of our seats. And he wins, and it's awesome, but then we realize he needs more money, so he makes the same bet twice. It's so suspenseful watching this scene. And he wins again, and we already know. We know he has to do it again, because we're really talking about more than just money. We are talking about faith. We are talking about believing in something. And this whole episode, Matt has tried believing in things and lost. So oh my God, that smile. Just fucking yes.
Just this once! Everybody lives!
Good work, Doctor. I mean, Matt. He walks to his car. He's done it. He really has. He takes that brief moment, that tiny moment, just to celebrate his victory. And this dude shows up just to chat, right? Matt's a good guy. We've seen this. He talks to him. The dude attacks Matt and takes the money. And it's honestly just devastating. It's such a successful execution of tragic states, and it feels awful, which in this case is a good thing. And Matt feels the way we do. He feels cheated, and he attacks him, and a horrible thing happens. We love it. We want Matt to attack this guy because we worked so hard for that money with Matt, and he gets it back, and we get just what we wanted. And now we sort of feel like accomplices with Matt. It's such an odd feeling because we got what we wanted, but we feel so dirty. On the way back, Matt stops to help a guilty remnant member and gets knocked out with a rock. Matt wakes up in the hospital and runs to the bank to get them the money. He gets to the bank just in time with the money. He barges in, it's the end of day, but he has it. The man explains that was 3 days ago. Matt has been in the hospital for longer than we assumed. Oh fuck, that is how you devastate with a twist. Utterly defeated, Matt goes to see who the new owners of the church are. Oh goddamn. Oh god damn. Why were they stocking up the church the entire episode? Because they were gonna fucking take it. And bringing back the dourness of the guilty remnant appearance suddenly has immense impact because Matt is trying to be a beacon of faith in the face of it. The guilty remnant's actions now have a direct effect that make us hate them for taking away something that Matt cherished. They take down the marquee, and it's Patty. And this is the first time I remembered her name. This is Patty, and Matt is not having this shit. So did Matt follow all these randomized events of his episode and he discovered the tragic consequences of an unfeeling, uncaring universe? Or was he divinely led and he's been given more tragedy in his life to test him, as we've seen God doing to him so many times in this episode? Both opinions carry proof, and we are left to process the events ourselves, for Matt and for our own hardships. We've seen this entire episode Matt's ability to be wrathful and his ability to show grace. Which is he going to decide? It's such an exciting mystery because I know the exact variables of it. Wow, that was good. That was fucking good. More to come soon.